Y'all remember our first time seeing a drugged up homeless person on the street literally just tweaking. Anyways, before we get into the stories and experience, you can skip my rant, but please, don't. Can we talk about weed story YouTubers? Like, there's no way that they don't realize that their audience consists of like 90% 12 to 13 year olds who see the shit and then tell their friends and devise a plan to do it on their own. People like me. Okay, I'm gonna start name dropping. People like Ninye, Chance for Real, It's CBD Bro, and that other irrelevant guy are all guilty of the shit. Also, people like Jacob Jones, Goblin, Williams, Ghost, Disorder Vape, Stokaziola, Ericon, Jesus, even fucking Corny. A ton of kids watching. Honestly, I'm more addicted to Goblin videos than I ever was to weed. Since 7 months ago, when I was in 7th grade, I literally loved Ninye, and I still do. His content is just so much better than all the other YouTubers, especially Chance for Real, who resorted to mass shit posting. Jesus Christ, the only people think that guy's cool is because he sounds black, and I doubt this guy's authentic either, bro. Your friend did not drop kick a wolf across the forest. The only problem I have with Ninye is that he resorted to make gaming content, which in turn is reeling more literal fetuses into watching his content. And this video is dedicated to Ninye because due to his stories I had tons of fun. But anyways, let's get into my timeline. So me and my dear friend, who we're just gonna call Gregory, are walking around after school one day when he randomly says, if you ever vape, we can't be friends. So I proceed to explain to him that vaping isn't as bad as he thinks it is, and his ass immediately in on it. Hands ran for a little, but I fixed that like relatively quickly. For 3 months, every day in history class, we were looking for plugs, asking everybody that was safe. We were in 7th grade asking other 7th graders for weed. That is until Gregory decided to tell a friend named Andrew, which I didn't want to. And the first thing that he says is that he has a literal vape from his fucking dad in his house because his dad just left it there and forgot it was there. So we spent the rest of the year trying to get him to bring it to school. By the way, it was a weed vape. And fail until summer. On the first week of summer, I was on a trip to Paris and they had to sleep over and use the vape without me. They also found some weird box vape in like Andrew's mom's room that had like stealth mode, fat cloud, and some like high-tech shit. Anyways, Andrew starts tweaking, thinking like the shit has juice in it. And it doesn't. But anyways, I actually hit the penjamin the first time when my friend Gregory called me and he was like, yo bro, I got a job with Andrew at Sam's house, can you fill in for me? I saw this as like the perfect opportunity to get Andrew to let me like rip that shit. Anyways, I got there and we did like 20 minutes of work, began biking around, in which I took it upon myself to interrogate Andrew about it. Get the vape, no. Get the vape, no. Get the vape, no. Okay. So we get the vape and he reveals it's fucking broken, and I convinced him to let me bring it home so I could fix it. I stuck that shit home in my shoe, by the way. Anyways, I get it fixed and call out my friend Gregory and pop a ghost on my first time ever hitting a trick because I was practicing like the mouth formations, watching Liam's video. Oh my god. I am mid-recording. You just ruined like... Anyways, he proposes that I get there early before Andrew so he doesn't limit how much we use. So we get there early, go to the canyon at the start of the trail leading down to the highway underpass. But we get there and it's fucking broken again. We somehow managed to fix it by like shoving sticks down the end of it and are throwing it to like a spasm of joy and start jumping up and down when it gets fixed. We start down the trail and are just hitting that shit like the Chinese guy on TikTok who rips every vape to make sure that the flavor is acceptable. And then we reach a point in the trail that's like 10 feet away from the train tracks and sit down. And I just started hitting it repeatedly. I also take it upon myself to record because I'm a dumbass, and I pass it over to Gregory and he rips that shit so hard for his tiny ass lungs, approximately like 3 seconds, and he starts fucking dying, yelling, I'm fucking dying bro, while coughing his ass off. Then we just continue hitting that shit for like 10 minutes, and then we start walking parallel to the train tracks and then sit down on a log bench under the highway bridge, and then I start feeling it and like getting the giggles. I don't remember correctly, but also gets the giggles and can't fucking walk straight because I hit the pen much more than he did, and I'm just lying there incapacitated while he calls Andrew and like edges us on the location of where we are. We eventually tell him where we are, and Jacob starts walking up and down the trail like giggling, and I think I get up as well, and like everything is so weird. I start getting like an outline of my cornea and my vision. That's the best way I can describe it. And I feel like my eyes are in my chest, like that's my point of view. Gregory looks like he's like about to fall in a fucking ditch. He's like stumbling around, and I just wait for Gregory to get back, and I hear Andrew calling out to us, and Gregory just starts running away from the sound of his voice, like giggling. I follow him and I feel like I'm like a toy soldier, with like the only joints that I have are on the top of my legs and my arms, and I think I'm walking like a Roblox character. Anyways, Andrew catches up to us, and long story short, we hit it again and then go to work. I work for Sam after that over the span of like 45 days, which actually consisted of me and Andrew and Gregory hitting that shit in the canyon before work and coming there absolutely baked and doing nothing, and then biking to McDonald's to get food. Anyways, anything between this point and the last story, which I'm about to tell, there was nothing relevant really. And this vape, by the way, is like a Dabwoods orange box thing. I don't know where he got it. Well, I do know, but like it's